Hello and thank you for joining me on my colouring quest. Today I want to be trying something a bit different. So yeah, this is basically like just a sort of trial run of this, and if I like it then I'll like do a more detailed version sort of thing. So I've picked out my Spooklettes sketchbook because I am trying to complete this book. I recently did this page with all the sparkles in the background and I really like how she turned out. But now I picked another page, so I've picked just a simple one here, and I want to let the dice decide how I colour this, like by choosing the colours and stuff. And I've seen people do like colour palettes and like let in a wheel spin to choose, but I thought I have a dice, I will just use a dice. So I have this rough sort of map here, and yeah, for this though I have put here, do I want a background, yes or no? But because this already has the square around it, I'm just going to go ahead and say that's a yes, and then I'm going to let it decide there, because to leave that blank, I don't think I could find myself doing that on this page. But other than that, I'm going to let it decide for me. But as I've only got a 6-sided dice, it was really difficult to pick what colours to include in each category, because obviously some categories are missing orange, some are missing yellow, some are missing this, some are missing that, because I didn't have enough sides on my dice. So if I do come to enjoy this or find it fun, then I will probably invest in a dice that has more faces, because I know there are people that play like board games and stuff and they've got like 12-sided dice or sometimes even more. And I thought that would be a good idea if I get into this. But I also kind of want to start up the colour palette challenge that some people do with that colour cube. So I might invest in one of those as well. If I can remember who it was that sells those cubes. I'm sure if I put it in Google it will tell me anyway. But yeah, because sometimes it's nice not to have to think about the colours, especially sometimes that can slow me down a lot. I'm sure you've noticed on some of my videos they get a bit long because I start thinking, what colour do I want to use? But today I'm leaving that, oops, sorry, I am leaving that down to the dice. So here goes nothing. So first I'm going to start by, I've got here 1 or 2, but 1 is including all odd numbers and 2 is including all even numbers, because there are only 2 to choose from. So let's see what it picks. Oh, you can't see that, but I'll slide it on. That is a 3, so that is odd. So I've got a block colour. So next, 1 to 6. Let's see what it's going to pick. I'll try and get this on camera this time. That is a 3 again. So that is purple background. I just did a purple background. So now I'm going to move on to whether it is going to be sparkly or not. So 1 all odd numbers is yes, and 2 even numbers is no sparkle. Right. So that is a number 5. Is that visible to you? So that again is odd. So that is purple and sparkly. This is only a rough sort of setup here. So I got block colour, purple and sparkles. So now going to move it down here and going to start with the skin colour. So 1 to 6 again. So that is a 1. So brown skin. It's liking the odd numbers, isn't it? And it's a yellow dice because I took it out of my Monopoly, and I have a Simpsons Monopoly from years ago that I don't use, so I just took the dice out of that. So now for the hair colour, 1 again, so brown skin, white hair, that's actually a really nice combination. So eyes, 6, ooh, multicolour eyes. So with this multicolour, I'm now going to roll it twice, 1 to 5, and it's going to pick, one eye is going to be one colour and one eye will be another colour. So we've got 1 is blue, so I think that'll be left because I'm starting with left. And then the right eye will be, oh, that's multicolour again, so I'm not going to do that 2 colours. 4, so white. Ooh, this is turning out interesting. So now, yes, it is still on the page, I'm going to move on to lips and makeup. So I'll do the lips first, and then when I say makeup, I'm meaning the eyeshadow. Blush, I will just do what suits the skin colour, I think, for this picture, because it's the first one and I can't go into too much detail. So eyeshadow is black, okay. So I'm just going to put eyes for that is black, and then lips are red. That's probably the only thing that's turned out normal. Well, obviously the skin being brown. I'm glad I didn't have like green skin and then like red lips, because Christmas is done now. I'm on to wintry pages with everything else. Right, any clothing? So the only clothing she has here is this sort of neck. I'm guessing that would maybe attach to a top. So let's see what colour that's going to be. Number 4, that's going to be pink. And then accessories. So these earrings, let's see what colour that is. 3 black earrings. So I'm just going to put ear there. And then the skull is going to be, hopefully not black. Oh, it's black. Okie dokie, I'm going to re-roll that, because that's just black for both, isn't, yeah. Please don't think that I'm trying to fix this, because obviously I'm not. I have these colours already. It's just, they are overlapping, so if I had that black and then that black, yeah. 2 silver, okay. Maybe I can incorporate it as like a black silver, like black sparkle maybe. So I just put skull there. And that is everything chosen. I don't think I've forgotten anything. So the background is going to be purple glitter, well, purple with sparkle. The skin is brown, hair is white, eyes are blue and white, lips are red, eye makeup is black, clothing is pink, and then the skull is silver and the earrings are black. So we will have to see how that goes. Yeah, quite interesting. Again, not really happy about the purple sparkle background because I literally just showed you it, right? purple sparkle background. So I will just pick a different kind of purple, I think. And it doesn't have to be the Mod Podge glitter that I use, although I think I could always put some stickles on top of it. Or I don't, yeah, I will figure it out anyway. It'll probably have to be the Mod Podge, because that's what I meant when I wrote this down, thinking sparkles. And again, this is sort of like a basic pick sheet. So until I come back again. So I am back and this is a new day. I didn't realise how late it was when I was recording that other part. So yeah, I have picked out the colours am going to use. Had a bit of, I'm either going to use one of these pinks, but it depends what the skin and that looks like before I finally decide on that. And for the white, I've just got a colour to do the shade areas. And so I'm just going to get on with it. I've got markers for a base, as I do with this book. I've got some Shuttle Art markers and 2 Spectrum Noir markers. I wish they still did them like this, because I tried their newer versions of like the classic, and yeah, they don't seem to last very long, whereas I've had these since probably about 2018, something like that, and they're still going strong, a lot of them anyway. Obviously I've used some to their death, but yeah. So first I'm gonna just put in this purple background. Oh, let me just move that out of the way. Right, just gonna go in with the chunky side. I am actually going to finish that line off for the hair. I still can't believe that we're almost at 2024. Like, where did this year even go? Because I don't know. There's more on there. Having this dark purple in the background will make it easier for the hair to be white as well. Because obviously my white Posca pen's going to come out and go over all of those black lines. I will add the glitter on top, the Mod Podge at the end, because I don't want to like have to pause and then come back when it's dry. Right, go around these little bits. The earrings are going to be black anyway, so that doesn't matter if I get any pen on. Yesterday my Nintendo Switch arrived, and oh my gosh, I set it up, put my game in, and then I was just like 2.5 hours just like familiarizing myself with like what the controls are, because obviously the last time I had a handheld sort of game, it didn't have as many buttons on it, I'll just put it that way. So, but yeah, at the moment I'm having fun. Started collecting some Pokemon. I do have 3 games. All that sort of remind me of my childhood. Like, to start with, I wanted to get games that I sort of know. So I got a Pokemon one, which was the main one that I wanted. And then the Nintendo Switch actually came with Spyro the Dragon, which, like, I just remember that as being one of the first games I ever played. It was on PlayStation, but still. Yeah. So, have that, and then I have a Final Fantasy game, which I love Final Fantasy games. So yeah, that should keep me busy for a while and get me sort of familiar with using the Switch. Does anybody else play any games on that? Obviously I've just described all of like 1-player games. I don't have anywhere that are multiplayer. I think on the Pokemon one though you can trade. But yeah, I probably won't. Because I don't know anybody else that has that game. Plus I got Pokemon Legends Arceus. Is that how you say it? Which is like a discovery. Like you're literally there to basically make the Pokédex. So you go around catching and battling to fill the information in on the Pokédex. And yeah, obviously I've only just started, so at the moment it's easy. But yeah, I thought it was good to get something like that, a bit probably more easier for me. Right, so I'm going to do the skin now. So I have BG6. It's a lightish brown, but like I'll add the shading in with pencils. So I don't like to go too dark on the skin to start with, because then it sometimes messes up like shading for me. So this is a really pretty brown. Don't forget the neck. She doesn't have any ears showing, so that's okay. Right, next I'm going to fill in the lips, which I have the red. It's called Old Rose. So I'm just going to... Oh, that's a nice red with that brown. That bit in there is going to be black, but I'll just do it red at the moment. It's actually a really pretty red. Right, so pink, which one should I use? Where's that paper gone? I think I like this one, which is actually called Pink, which is why I pulled it out. But when I put it down on this paper, it didn't look like that to start with, but now it's dried, it does. So I'm going to go with Pink. And I just leave that other one to the side for now. So that is for her clothes. See what I mean? It looks a bit like a different colour when it goes down. So hopefully that will turn to that other colour. And that's probably a colour that's going to yellow if it's got this sort of yellowy tone. Hopefully not. Alright, now the eyes. Right, which one was blue? The left one was blue. So this one. And then the other one is white, which is grey. So I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to use this to shade a little bit within the eye. And now I need to use this to shade within the hair. So where it's like got the black, I'm just going to shade that out a bit. And then when it comes to going over the white lines, there's a bit of shadow in there. Like, I won't use any pencil on. Because even white hair would get some colour in it. I'm not being too particular about this. I think that's good enough for that. And then I am going to use this as a shade, because this is going to be silver, isn't it? So going to shade in a bit on the skull for now, but I will go in with like blacks and that to make that look like it is silver. There's going to be black in there, but you know. Right. So now actually, I'm just going to this is a Stapler double-ended fibre kit marker. Yeah, I just saw these on offer one day and I got them. So I'm just going to use this for my black, for the black earrings. For the black eyeshadow though, I will just use pencil. But I thought this would be easier to use these. I've not used the black before, and I've only used the other colours yesterday when I was writing out this list. So far I'm feeling happy about this sort of challenge. It hasn't done anything majorly horrible to me, has it? And the only thing I did change was the fact that this was going to be black to start with. So I may as well actually just go over these eyeballs with the black. And then I rolled again because of the earrings, but other than that, it's picked out colours that have kind of been fine. I want the nose, I want the nose. So now I'm going to have to pick out my pencil colours, so I'll just pause and save you some time. So I'm ready. I am using Castle Art pencils, and I say ready, I forgot to sharpen them again. Always forgetting to sharpen. Oh, just got a 12. Let's have that brown. So yeah, except for my black and white, they are Castle Arts pencils. So I am just going to go in with the skin first. That's most of the picture anyway. I have got Van Dyke Brown, which I'm just going to put where I want the shadows, and yeah, there will be black is my darkest shadow, and obviously the eyeshadow is going to be black, so that will go in a minute. I'm not pressing down too hard. I do like to add the sort of other part of the nose. It's just the way I colour. Sort of here. She doesn't have much of a chin. And this down here. It's not going to be much light coming through. Right, so I'm going to add a bit of Indian red into the cheeks. This is also the red I'm going to be using on the lips, so I thought that should be okay for my challenge to use the same colour. I need to put a bit of colour in because she's going to have all this other makeup on, so just put a bit above the eye, although that's probably going to get blacked out because she's got black black eyeshadow. Put on the end of her nose. Right. Save that aside for later. Right, now I'm going to go in with my black. Right, and I'm gonna do the black eyeshadow while I'm here. I think I will just do it a block of black because I don't really know what else I could do with it. It's gonna take a few layers to get it a solid black though. Over the eyeliner, well, the eyelashes. I always call it eyeliner, but it wouldn't be a liner if it's flicking out. Now this side. Light layer to start with. That needs to be dark as well. And I think I'll go over the eyebrows with white because she's got white hair. But I'll decide that in a moment when I'm doing that. Because I could change my mind by then. Because I didn't put anything in for eyebrows when I was rolling the dice, did I? Yeah, so I think I will carry on with this, like doing the rolling the dice. But I still think I'll get one of those colour cubes. And I watched a video yesterday. I would like to thank, I think it was Dusty Colouring. And she talked about it and she mentioned that it was Sarah Renee Clark colour cube. So I'm like, what good timing was that? Like, I stopped filming this because it was getting too late. And then I sat down and did a little bit of colouring on another page. And put a video on, and then she talks about it. Like, what are the coincidences of that happening? It was very helpful. So at least I know what I'm looking for now. I think she was talking about her next year's plans or something. But yeah, very helpful. So I doubt you watch this, but thank you anyway for mentioning it. I like the sorry, I like the shading on that. And I do have another brown that I'm going to add to this, because I don't want her this pale. Go over that nose bit with the black. I think that's enough black. Oh, forgot the neck. Just need to sharpen that a bit, it's gone a bit difficult. Oh, wow, that's gonna snap. Look at that. I don't even know if that focused or not, but... Oh, there it goes. I was scared to press down too hard, but I had to be able to do this. Like, my Hoover is probably like, ooh, another pencil lead. How many is that this week? Right, And now I shall what's this? I have brown ochre, which is a lighter brown, which should give this a brighter brown tone. And I'm just using that to blend all my colours together. Because normally I would use a white or a really light skin tone, wouldn't I? But with brown skin, I use a brown. Sometimes if I've gone too dark than what I wanted, then I'll use a white. But most often I would then take a light brown after I've used the white to sort of go back in and make sure it's not like really pale. But yeah, I like this skin. I think she's going to look nice when it's done. And I definitely wouldn't have picked out these colours, like putting the purple background. I probably wouldn't have done if I was doing this skin. I don't know, but it looks nice. My brain wouldn't have thought of it, which is a reason why I thought doing the rolling of the dice would be a good idea. But you never know until you try something. Because this could have been a disaster, and then I would have thought, oh, I'm not doing that again. It's turning out really nice. I mean, I still had to pick the type of brown I wanted to use, and the pink and the red and all that. But to have the, like, colour group chosen for me to start with, it did take a lot off of this decision process. Right, I think her skin is done. I forgot the neck again. It's because it's only a little bit, isn't it? It's like if she had an ear, I would have forgotten that 3 times by now. But luckily she has none visible. Right, so skin is done. Let's just go in with the pink on that neck thing. I never know if I'm saying this right, Jaipur pink, number 31 in the Castle Arts, and that needs sharpening. And I'm not going to go over the whole thing, I'm just going to go where the shadows would be, because I quite like the soft pink next to this skin. So it's not going to be much of a difference, just a little bit. And that's that done. Right, next I am going to do her lips. So I have that Indian red from earlier that I used in the cheeks, and I also have cadmium red and then the black. Sorry, I forgot about my cup of tea. I've already drank half of it, but it's starting to go cold now. I'm surprised it stayed this warm for this long, to be honest. So, go in, that's going to be black, but I'm going to try and make these look a lip-like. Sometimes it can be difficult. Lips can be difficult, but the shape of these lips is actually one of the easier ones to do, in my opinion, because everything's already sort of mapped out a bit. Right, I'm going to go in with the black on that middle bit because I'm using that as, you know, she's got her lips slightly, they call it pursed? Puckered? I don't know. But yeah. And then I'm going to go in with the cadmium red. Oh, that's another lead. That didn't fly very far though. The floor will not be claiming that one. And then what I will do is I will get my Posca and add those highlight bits. For that bit there, it's the papers. Some reason the paper didn't like that. So I'm going to get that black that I used on the earrings for a moment. Just so I can make sure that bit of paper is black. Because I don't know why that didn't like that. Right, white Posca pen. I probably shouldn't do this now, but why not? I like to go over the lines, and because it's red, the Posca is probably going to pick up the ink and turn it like a pinky colour, but we will see. I may still have to go over the Posca with the red that I've just used. Right. What should I do next? The eyes? Because the hair's just going to be me going over the lines with white. So eyes. Oh, I didn't pick out a blue for the eyes. Right, I have ultramarine. And I'm just going to use it to shade a little bit. Oh, this lead's fully broken. Although if I remember rightly, I remember there was a blue that I always had problems with, like it's been dropped on the floor a million times. Just add a bit of blue to the whites of the eyes. And this one over here. I will add a little bit of that blue in the shadows of that eye as well. But again, it's a white eye, so I need the black to go over pupils. Don't like that bit being so white. I am going to add the white. And then this side the white. I never know when to stop with my little dots. And I am going to do these. She's got little dots on above her eyebrows. I'm just going to put them in white. Do I want to give her the white eyebrows? I think I'm going to leave them as they are, because I've just done those dots white, haven't I? Right, I'm going to add a little bit of white to the earrings. What do you think, too much? It's still plastered black, right? And now I need to do this skull, which is mostly going to be me using the black to shade, because it's silver. I think that'll do. I don't want to do anything fancy, and I am going to go over a couple of these bits just to make it not as harsh. I think that bit is too much. And that bit, yeah, there's too much. But that's picked up the purple. And that on the lips hasn't picked up the red as much as I thought, so I will be going over that with the red. So I get my cadmium red back. That was too white. There we go. But you're gonna think, well, you just went over it in red. I am going to add a couple of actual white dots back in. So now she has nice lips. I don't agree with that one. Too much. There we go. Right, is it just her hair now? And then the glitter on the background? Or have I missed something else? Nope. Right, let's start on the hair then. This is going to take a while. I don't know, do you mind if I pause it, or do you want to watch it while I go over this? I'll do a few strands and then you get the idea anyway, I think. I'm literally just going over the black lines. I don't think I'm going over, you know, the shaded parts. I'm not going to do that. Just simply the black hair strands. But I'm not completely bothered if it's not like fully covering the black lines, because that will just add a little bit of shadow anyway. A lot over here. Right, so I'm going to go and just not make you watch through this. So be back. Right, so that hair is all done, and it's probably about the best as I could have hoped for it to turn out. I did contemplate whether I wanted these parts white, but then I thought no, that would take forever. It already took like 10 minutes to do all that. So now I'm just going to take my Mod Podge Extreme Glitter and go over that purple background, because it did say sparkle. So I'm just going to take my paintbrush and dip it in, and yeah, just go for it. I do try to just give it like a thin layer, but I would say if you want more on after you've done a thin layer, do another thin layer after it's dry, instead of just like plopping it on all in like big thick layers, because one, that would take forever to dry, but two, you might get bumpy pages. I mean, this is already going to give it texture anyway. These pots of glue and the Mod Podge last ages, so even though this is only the small size, I've had it for like 2 years, maybe 1.5 to 2 years, And the amount of pages I put it on, and it's still got half the pot of glue left. Doesn't matter if it goes on anything. Just remember again, if you are using like a paintbrush to apply this, just wash it right after you've finished and your paintbrush will be fine, because glue is water based. Well, this is anyways. As long as you wash it right after, it's going to come out. Although if you leave it and it gets hard, you may be able to save it by putting it in like warmer water, because that might soften it back up again so you can get it off. But yeah, obviously it works with this. Don't do it. Don't use a paintbrush if you're using like super glue or something. Gosh, I never have success with super glue. I always end up like sticking something to something that didn't need to be stuck together. Even my fingers. Yeah, I spent like 20 minutes one time having to soak my fingers in warm soapy water, and then I used like a scrub to get it off. I mean, it worked perfectly fine. It just took time because I was making an Easter bonnet for my niece, who at the time was probably 1.5 to 2 years old, and I was super gluing some little, I think they were like little chicks or little flowers onto this hat. I think it was flowers, because I don't think I put chicks on that one. I might have done. And like I forgot that it was like a straw hat, so obviously it's got gaps between the straw, and the glue got on my fingers, and then I was like, oh crap. And then my mum was laughing at me, because she was I mean, I was laughing at me, but I was like, gosh, I hope I can get these unstuck. But like I said, it just took a little bit of time, and then it was fine. So I'm always a bit more careful now if I have to use super glue. I try not to use super glue. Sorry, that hand might have been in the way, casting a shadow over everything. I apologise if it was. I plan on later as well taking those photos for next month's What Would You Want Me to See coloured, and yeah, it's difficult to pick the books though, because I've got a few books that I want to work in, and a couple of them I already know that I want to sort of show pictures, so I'm not going to include those ones in the choice, because I'll probably still do those ones anyway. So I'm trying to pick 3 books that I want to work in, but I don't know what page to do yet, because I thought that would help me pick the page, wouldn't it? So I'm going to come back when that's dry so you can see it properly, because at the moment you're just seeing all the white sort of marks of the glue. So be back in a bit. I think it still needs a little bit more time to dry, but you can barely see the white anymore on the glue. So now you just got the sparkle. And yeah, again, I want to say I have enjoyed this challenge, so I will be throwing one of these in every now and again when I feel like it. Maybe I can use it to help me complete this book, because like I said, I want to complete it. I have got it marked down in my notebook of books that I wish to complete, and so far these are the ones that I've completed. So I still have a lot more to go, but it is by far the colouring book that I have coloured the most pages in. Yeah, I have also these two books here, Colour in Heaven, ones that I wish to eventually complete. The Dark Fantasy was the first Colour in Heaven I got, so I thought I should really complete that one first. And then I have the annual 2019, which I included because I want to, because the annuals have varying types of illustrations in them, I thought that would be a good one to sort of colour. But obviously, as you can see, I haven't coloured much in either of these. I've still coloured quite a lot considering it's me colouring, but at the same time it's still going to take a while for those two. That's why I'm focusing a lot more on this one. So hopefully next year I can complete this one. I mean, I've just done 2 pictures this week inside this book, so that shows how fast I can get them done. And if I use this colour picker to help me, then that might get me a bit further. But I'd also like to use that colour picker on other pages as well. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. So this was Spooklettes Sketchbook by Karla Magana, and yeah, really happy with that. So until next time, which will probably now be my completed pages video, I hope you have a good new year, and yeah, I shall see you again. Thank you for joining me on my colouring quest.